This has to be what Groundhog's Day is, or that movie Happy Death Day. The same thing, time in, time out. You get up in the morning hoping it'll be different, but it's the same damn thing, dying more and more painful every time. That's what we're living. A defense that's constantly out of position, an offensive line that if I cared to spam tweet them on Twitter, probably couldn't even block me, or just hold their tongue the way they've been holding defensive linemen. Cowboys fall to 2-5, out of first place against the Washington whatevers. And once again, it's the same conversations about the same problems, about the same players. By now you guys know how it goes. I'm going to highlight who tried to do something, and who's only trying to cash a check. Before I get into it, if you happen to like this video, hit that like and sub button. Let's get to it. The first man up this week is us the fans, and you guys for tuning in. And yeah, that is an indicator of how bad this team is. But there's no way you can tell me that us as fans don't care more about what's happening on the field than the players do. So many people told me they expected the Cowboys to get their grill smashed in, and still decided to watch. So many of us think of new ways to improve the team, whether it's benching a certain player for no effort, or thinking of new ways to jumpstart a struggling offense. This team, players and coaches, seem content with the same results and the same effort. I'm not. I want to win, and don't want to tank on purpose. If you're still here, I want something better on Sundays, then a big shout out to you, because that's manning up.
Not only has the pendulum swung, field position has swung, and that is a huge advantage now for West Virginia taking over on offense. Credit to the Mountaineer defense.
Austin McNamara to punt to Alex Sinkfield. Neil Brown wants to see Sinkfield more aggressive on punt returns. This one getting some help from the West Texas wind, and McNamara flips the field. I don't think I've been that excited for a punt. That's an 87-yard punt.
It's one of the oldest things in football. Complementary football. This team doesn't help each other in any way. Defense gets a goal line stand, only to give up a safety, and then give up a touchdown to go down 9-0. If you told me this team has locker room issues, I believe you. Because this team on the field plays like they could never be friends. Where it is right now, I'm looking for the smallest fixes and smallest things that could help. Chris Jones does none of that. Repeatedly his kicks fall short and does nothing to flip the field to help a defense gasping for air. If this team tells you they like the guys they have because of contracts, fine, just say that. But you can easily go get a low-risk punter for less money to do a much better job. Chris Jones, we're getting way too familiar, but have a seat. You man down. Here for another week is Tony Pollard. There's not much he can do at running back, and I think is not used enough as a pass catcher. Let's be honest. This team's going nowhere with Andy Dalton in this line, but Pollard can give them a spark and some unpredictability and versatility when motioned out of the backfield. With Zeke, that's not the case. They need every possible advantage, and a bad offense needs somebody that can get them yards in space, elude tackles, and turn a stop for no gain to a gain of 3 or 4. His return provided a spark that predictably the offense squandered. This team has to send a message and needs a change. This is totally a projection, but Tony Pollard needs to be the next man up. Wash, rinse, and repeat. This graphic says it all, doesn't it? Every week, and somebody sets a new personal best against his defense. It's a regular thing now. The tackles always get pushed back. Jalen Smith has zero awareness of himself and what's happening on the field. And plays like this with Diggs is simple lack of concentration. I'm convinced. Nothing will fix this. No internal conversation, no anonymous snitch is going to correct these things. These failures are deep-seated and systemic. Right now, we can point the finger at the coaches right along with the players. The players not tackling and giving up extra yards after initial contact is 100% on them. and no anonymous dry snitch can tell me different. All 11 guys on defense, clap it up for yourself. You man down. Same 2 guys on here. It really is Groundhog's Day. Cooper is the only tangible good thing about this offense, and on the list for back-to-back weeks. For a guy that supposedly doesn't like football, or doesn't play hard, he's producing, getting open, catching passes, and trying to give the offense something stable. I think Moose said it during the game, but these short patterns are something Dallas can build on to get the ball out quick and get less pressure on these linemen. When this team looks at themselves and say, what did we do right? Look at Amari Cooper. He manned up. These blowouts are on the players as much as the coaches. Offensively, I get it. The line is terrible, and playing with Terrence Steele and Cam Irvin is as hard as eating cereal with a fork. But knowing that, how many times do you run the ball in the mouth of that defense on first down? Or how many times do you run the toss play against that front? They didn't try to create anything new from drive to drive, and Washington was ready for them. Now, as far as the defensive coaches, I'm starting to see where some of this is on them. How many times did you notice right before the snap, players had no idea what they were doing? I'm paraphrasing, but it was written. If your subordinates don't listen to your directions, it's on them. But if the message isn't clear, it's on you. This team looks like they don't understand what they're supposed to be doing, and that's on defensive coaching. So as a whole, Mike Nolan, Kellen Moore, Mike McCarthy, welcome back to the channel. You man down. What next? A road trip to Philadelphia in prime time against a team with 10 days rest, a healthy quarterback who, despite turning the ball over, is getting more confident. Mike McCarthy can feed his team all the cliches he wants, but if you intend to salvage the season and compete for something, there has to be real change to put everyone on notice. These players are comfortable laying down on Sunday and comfortable ratting to the media. It doesn't matter who Chuck E. Cheese is. What matters is what they're going to do to avoid getting embarrassed in primetime next week. Right now, I don't have any answers because I think this is what they are. But thank all of you for watching. As always, Cowboys up. Peace.